Well, good morning guys, welcome to another video. It's been an awfully long time between motorbike rides and videos, so I thought I'd better get one out there and let you know what's going on. Now, with the world in this gripped by this global pandemic, this COVID-19, there hasn't been much opportunity at all with these restrictions and lockdown laws. But recently in New South Wales, Australia, those restrictions have eased a little, and the Premier of New South Wales, Gladys, has gotten online and said that you can go for a motorbike ride and it's deemed as exercise or mental health, so that's good enough for me, and I'm out. So there's still a lot of restrictions on what you can and can't do, but you are allowed to go for a little motorbike ride. So I've jumped on the bike, I'm not far from home, I've headed out to some local bush, and yeah, I just want to do a quick squirt and show you the bike. There's been a number of I guess improvements in my eyes, and upgrades and little modifications. So we'll get out there in the bush, we'll go for a ride, we'll find a nice quiet spot, and I'll let you have a look at the bike and we'll go through what's been done. So yeah, I'll see you further on. Good to be talking to all you guys and good to be back on the bike. So I'm just coming on off the road. I'm trying to find a decent little spot where I can get away from anyone that may be in here, set up the camera, but at the same time I don't want to do too much riding where I'm getting the bike real muddy before its big reveal. So we'll just go a bit further on, see if we can find a nice little spot. I must say, it's good to be back on the bike. It's been a long time. Excellent fun. All right, this looks like a decent little spot. What do you reckon? Been a bit of a fire through here the last couple of years, starting to get a good regrowth. All right, I'll stop up here and set up somewhere. We're here in the bush now. I've pulled over, I've parked the bike on the side of this track, dumped some of the gear, and I want to give you a look now at what the bike looks like. So are you ready? Here we go. The new KTM 690 Enduro R look. Yeah, she's a bit leery. I've gone for this this Red Bull look. However, it's got a personal touch on there, as you can see. Shadow is 75, and I think it looks fantastic. I'm pretty happy with it. A little bit nervous on the leery side of things, but yeah, hey, it looks good. I'm definitely going to be seen out riding. So no complaints. I do have a big thanks to Gian over at MST Equipment there in Italy. They supplied these decals to me, and there they are, MST. And I've managed to get them on. The quality of the decal is fantastic. I'm really happy with it. So there we go, that is the bike. So overall, I was really happy with how the decal process went on the bike. I was very reluctant to do that job. I'm not a great sticker on kind of guy. However, I stuck to it and got through. So I had to make sure that when I pulled off all these old decals that all the glue that was on there and the sticky residue was completely off, so when putting on the new one it would get a really good adhesion and good stick. It wouldn't just peel off. So it took a fair bit. I had to hit it with a fair few solutions and kind of rub it back because the glue had really permeated and stuck to the tank. All the others, where it was just a nice finish kind of plastic, it kind of peeled and cleaned off really quick. However, getting that tank nice and clean so these new ones would stick took a little bit of work and a little bit of elbow grease, but managed to get it off, managed to get it nice and clean, and yeah, then it was just the process of getting those new decals on, which wasn't too bad. Yeah, once I got the corner started and marked where I was going to get them on, it was a matter of just slowly, pushing them on and making sure I was getting no air bubbles. Where there is some, it's not 100% this job, but it was just getting it so it's sticking to the plastic and to the tanks as good as possible. You can see the if I bring you in a bit closer, the decals on the tanks have just as perforations in it. You can see in there nice and close there's little slots in the decals, and I guess that's just to try and let the adhesive, I think, stick to the tank a bit better, because stickers on a fuel tank definitely are tricky and can come off after a while. So the old decals that were on this bike were pretty good, especially on the tank. They were sticking and holding on quite well. So yeah, the process was being good. I was happy with how it all went, cleaning up and the sticking. There's a couple of little bubbles that you can't see, sections like where it goes around different bends. It's just a matter of pushing it on and just keep applying pressure as you pull the sticker and keep it taut. No real great science. Sections like this here are real easy to put on because it's flat, and you can see how I've had to cut out some of those holes where the pannier racks and that rear rack kind of go on. So yeah, happy days. So yep, the decal process went really well. Happy with it, as I said. And so if you follow my videos, you would have seen in the last channel that I said I need to replace the grips and do a couple of other maintenance issues or upgrades to the bike, and I've done that now. I'll tell you what, that grip replacement process, it's not really hard if you know what you're doing. And I guess what, the first grip that I put on with the Pro Taper grip glue, and wow, doesn't that go off fast. That went off within about 3 or 4 seconds, and the grip got stuck halfway on. So that was one set of grips that were terminated and I had to replace. But I thought about it and I came up with a different system when replacing the grips. I managed to use a different type of glue, some hairspray, which was really good, and put a couple of little brass bars up inside, taped them onto the end, plenty of hairspray on there, and then slid the grips up over the brass bars so the grip wasn't contacting the handlebars. And it went on really well. Once I got it all the way on, I still had a bit of an air gap between the grip and the handlebars, managed to get a bit more spray up inside the grip, and then just simply pulled those bars out. And that process seemed to work pretty well for me. And after I'd already terminated or killed one grip anyway, which I had to just cut off. So once I got the grips on, it was then just putting some grip wire on there. And you can see on this one, oh, you might not be able to see in there, maybe that one in there, is it focusing? Jeez. Yeah, there's just some grip wire there, just to give it extra, extra grip on the handlebars. They're not going to move at all. Plenty of glue inside the grip there. And with the tie wire on there just to help out a little bit more. So yeah, so that's it. I've got new Pro Taper pillow top grips on the bike now. Worn out ones are done. So the USB cigarette lighter charger that was here, that was faulty, that has now been replaced with a 3.1 power supply USB there, and I've actually had to make a bracket that just bolts to the back. Might be able to see it a bit better there. Just bolts onto the back of the top of that triple clamp there, and just bends over and houses the USB. So that's wired into my accessories. Yeah, so I can't forget if anything's charging. Once I turn the bike off, that'll be off. So yeah, happy with that. That just gives me another option when charging, which is really good. So cool. So with the relocation of that USB, I had to also move my tyre pressure monitoring system, or little display there. I didn't want it on the handlebars anymore, so I've moved that a bit further up in top of the cockpit there, on top of my old iPhone, and I've put it on a little bracket there, and I'll bring you in now and show you that. So, stand by. Well, sorry about that. That was a phone call from Shan. I was talking about that little bracket, so we'll come and have a closer look. So the tyre pressure monitoring was down here, and now I've moved it just up the top there, and I think that's quite a nice little spot there. I can see it nice and easy. It's out of the way again, and I simply just made up a little bracket there. It's hard to see. Can you see that through the glare? No. Anyway, there is a little bracket in there that is holding the tyre pressure monitoring system. And then also, hard to see through the glare here of the sun, I've mounted the this RAM arm, and it's going to hold the GoPro 7 here to try and get a picture back towards me to give the viewing a little bit more variation than just seeing a point of view from my GoPro on the helmet. So yeah, just made up a plate, drilled a couple of holes down in there, and bolted that to this whole frame that holds the front of the fairy on, and it's really sturdy. It's pretty good. I'm hoping it doesn't vibrate and shake too much. So that's it. Got the Garmin InReach up the front here, just on another RAM mount to the left. Nice and easy. Again, depending on the ride I'm doing, depending on who I'm with, depends if I've got to have that mounted on me or on the bike. So for this one and for other little ones, I'll just keep it on the bike because I'm with a lot of guys. So yeah, happy with that. And then also went the yellow bark busters, as you can see. Yellow bark busters, took the black ones off, they're spares now, and got the bark busters on. So that is it. That is pretty much most of the things that I've done to the bike. Nothing to the engine at all. It was more just to try and make the videos a bit better with the camera, and also just to clean up this little area here on the handlebars. So yeah, that's my KTM 690 Enduro. I'll do a pretty detailed review or look at the bike in the future, but that's just it for now for this video and the reveal. So I've been getting a lot of questions and messages re our ride that I announced that we're going to do. That was scheduled to kick off on the 14th of May, and because of the current climate and what's happening around the world and in Australia, obviously that ride has been put on the back burner. That's it, yeah. So unless something drastic happens and the whole of the outback opens up in the next few weeks, and then we've got to see if we can logistically manage it on our side. The ride might be back on, but if it's not and it's going to stay closed, it's probably looking at a 2021 crossing now. So unfortunate, all that work and effort that we all put in, it won't go to waste because we will be able to get it next year. However, it's just not going to happen this year. So yeah, there'll be a lot of smaller adventure rides, I guess, at this stage. So looking hopefully in the next few weeks, if the New South Wales outback kind of opens up a little bit more, we can get out there and do a ride and maybe some camping. But at this stage, it's all still locked down. Yeah, you can ride, but that's about it. So yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully in the future we'll give you some more updates, and we'll go from there. Well, there you have it, guys. That is just a quick update on what's going on with the ride. Unfortunately, the big ride is potentially over for this year, and once these lockdown restrictions get eased, we can get out and do a couple of look at that, bastards dumping rubbish. Once these lockdowns get eased, we can get out and do some overnighters, some camping, and the campgrounds get open again. But for now, it's just the quick day rides, and yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you loved the new look of the bike. Pretty leery, a bit definitely leery for my taste, but I'll get used to it. Huge thanks to Gian, Luca, and all the guys at MST for the supplying of the decals. Big thanks to all the guys, Shan, Greg, Steve, Cam, for your patience over the last 6 weeks, you know, with this lockdown and the ride being off. So it's been excellent, and yeah, I'll get out of here now, get back on the blacktop, and head back home, try and edit up this video and get it out there. So again, thanks very much, guys, for watching. I hope you guys are all staying safe during this challenging time, and I'll see you guys sometime on the trails.